Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I will show you how to create this. So we are now in After Effects. Create a composition. Let's call it Love Intro Comp. I'm using 1920 by 1080 resolution and a frame rate of 60 FPS. And keep the duration to 12 seconds. Now create a new solid for the background. Keep the solid size the same as the comp size. Name it background and hit OK. Now search for gradient ramp effect and apply it to the layer. Set both the colors to peach color shade. If you want, you can copy the color code like I'm doing. Keep the ramp shape to radial ramp. Now set the end of ramp point to the bottom like I'm doing. Cool. We can lock the background layer, so it not gets selected by mistake. Now import the YouTube logo in the composition. Select the layer and hit S on the keyboard to open scale. Change the scale value to 20. Now hit P on the keyboard for position and change the Y value to 460. Now set the ruler line in the center of the YouTube logo. Perfect. Now deselect this layer. Now take the rounded rectangle tool and draw a shape of YouTube logo size. Set the fill color to none. Select the stroke color and set it to white color and stroke size to 15. Open the shape layer properties. In rectangle 1, set the roundness value to 115. Now adjust the size of the shape by selecting the rectangle one. Set the shape in between of the rulers. I'm shifting the position here to set the shape to the center of YouTube logo. Looking good to me. Select all the layers and minimize, so we can get some room here. Now select the shape layer and double click on the anchor point tool to set the anchor point in the center of the shape. Rename the shape layer to YouTube stroke. Now import the play PNG in the composition. Note, I have already created this shapes and exported as PNG for this tutorial, but you can draw this shape as well. Here open position and set the Y value to 460, open transform option of the layer and set anchor point X value to 59.5. So we can rotate this shape from center. Now we don't need YouTube logo, so delete it. Come forward to 12 frames and set key on scale and rotation. Now go 1 second forward and set key on both again. You can use J and K keys on the keyboard to jump from one keyframe to another across properties. Set rotation value to 90 in first key, and set the scale to 0. Select all keys and hit F9 on the keyboard to ease keys. Now select both keys and open Graph Editor. Drag the handle to left side and make a curve like I'm doing. Again click on Graph Editor to exit from here. Play the animation. Perfect. Now we're gonna animate YouTube stroke, so open the layer. From the Add option select Trim Paths. Come to 24 frame and add key on start. Now go forward to 1 second and add another key, again come to first key and set start value to 100. Set the offset value to -30. Now set keys on scale and rotation in 24 frame. Again go forward to 1 second and add both keys. Come to the first key, here set scale to 70 and rotation to -15. Select all keys and ease them. Now select all last keys and open Graph Editor. Drag the handles to left side and make a curve like I'm doing. Play the animation. Cool. This line endings are looking sharp, so let's fix it. So open the layer properties. Inside rectangle 1, open stroke 1, and change the line cap to round cap. Now we need motion blur in this layer. If you can't see the motion blur box, then use these toggle switches. Turn on the motion blur, and play your animation. Perfect. Now I don't need rulers, so I'm hiding it. Now import the arrow PNG and rename it. Select the layer and open scale. Change the value to 17. Go to 1 and 10 seconds and hit the open square bracket key on the keyboard to start layer from that time. Now open position and rotation and set key there. Go 1 second forward and set a key on both again. Come to the first key. Now let's adjust the position of the arrow. Change the rotation to 48. Change the position X value to 2144, and Y value to 324. Come to the last key. Here change the position X value to -250 and Y value to 748. Change the rotation value to 10, so we got our basic animation of the arrow. Now go to 1 and 42 seconds. Select all keys and easy ease. Now open Graph Editor and set the curve like I'm doing. Remember to select both curves and drag handles, or else only one handle will shift. Now shift the position of the arrow here, and adjust the handles for getting smooth animation. You can give a little bit of rotation here. Now check the animation and keep adjusting until you are satisfied with your animation. At last, your curve will look something like this. Now come to the last key and hit the Alt plus close square bracket key on the keyboard to cut layer in that time. Now go to 1 and 44 seconds and select the play layer. Open rotation and set a key here. Go to 2.21 seconds and set rotation to -292. Now leave 17 frames and set rotation to -255. Again leave 17 frames and set rotation to -276. Again leave 12 frames and set rotation to -270. Play and check the animation. Here the rotation is a bit slow, so let's fix it. Select the third key and open Graph Editor. Here set the curve like I'm doing. You can keep on adjusting curves for getting a smooth bounce effect. Play the animation. Now we need the same bounce effect in YouTube stroke as well, so come to 1.46 seconds and select the stroke layer. Open rotation here, and set key. Now leave 19 frames and set rotation value to -8. Again leave 19 frames and set the key value to 4. Again leave 19 frames and set the key value to -3. Again leave 19 frames and set the key value to 0. Now play the animation. Cool. Now we need to animate our second arrow, so import it from the project window. Open scale and set value to 17. Start the layer from 3 and 7 seconds. Open position and rotation, and set key here. Go forward to 1 second and again set a key on both. Now trim out the layer from here. Come back to the first keys. Now start shifting the positions. But before that, change the rotation value to 106. Now change the position X value to 1274 and Y value to 1278. Go back to last keys. Change the rotation value to 94. Change the position X value to 607.3 and Y value to -240. Now select all keys and easy ease them. Come back to 3.28 seconds and open Graph Editor, and set the curve like I'm doing here. Shift the arrow position in the center of the play icon. Cool. Now adjust the handles for getting smooth animation. Perfect. Now we need to change the play shape to heart shape, so let's do it. Import the heart PNG. Come to 3.29 frames, and start the layer from here. Minimizing these layers to get some room here. Select the layer and open scale. Here set a key, now go to 4 seconds and set another key. Again come back to the first key and set a key on position. Here set the ruler above the play shape just for reference. Change the position Y value to 400. Now hide the rulers. Come to 4.3 seconds and set the position Y value to 474.5. Now come back to the first key. In scale, uncheck the constrain properties, and set the scale Y value to 0. Play and check your animation. Cool. Now come to 3.43 frames and set position Y value to 380. Select all keys and easy ease them. Cool. Now we got our basic shape changing animation. Come to 3.44 seconds, here set a key in the play layer to scale, go to 4.7 seconds, and scale down to 80. Now open position and come back to 3.28 seconds, and set a key. Go to 4.3 seconds and change position Y value to 457, and easy ease both keys. Now hit U on the keyboard to reveal all keyframed properties. Come back to 3.44 seconds and change position Y value to 432.7. We got our shape changing animation here. Here come to 4.3 seconds and trim out the play layer. Place the heart layer below the play shape layer. Now select both the layers and pre-compose them, select the Move All attributes, and name it to Morph Shape Comp. Come back to our main comp, and open rotation, go to 3.30 seconds. Here we need to shift the anchor point to the center of the YouTube stroke, so turn on the ruler lines. Now select the anchor point tool and shift the point to the center. Now you can hide the rulers. Here set a key on the rotation. Now leave 14 frames and set the value to -15. Again leave 11 frames and set the value to 10. Now leave 13 frames and set the value to -5. Again leave 10 frames and set the value to 0. Select all keys and easy ease them. Cool. Play your animation. Now we got some cool wiggle animation. Same we're gonna do with YouTube stroke, so open rotation here and set key. Now every time you need to leave 19 frames gap, and keep on setting keys. First, the value will be 25. Again leave 19 frames, then -15. Again leave 19 frames, then 6. Again leave 19 frames, then 0. RAM preview your animation. Cool. Now select the YouTube stroke layer, and make a copy of the layer. Rename the layer to YouTube Fill. Now open the fill options and change it to a solid color. Open the fill color and change it to red color. Now come to 4.40 seconds and trim out the layer from there. Now deselect the layer, and make a shape from the rectangle tool. Change the stroke option to none. Place the layer above the YouTube fill layer. Now trim out the layer from 4.40 seconds. Open the position and set a key here. Go 1 second forward and set key. Come back to the first key and place the shape outside the logo. Now go to the last key and place the shape covering the whole logo. Trim out the rest part of the layer. Now select the YouTube fill layer. Go one frame forward, and split the layer. Place this layer above the shape layer. Now search for Turbulent Displace effect and apply it to the shape layer. Change the amount to 93, and size to 33. Now alt-click on Evolution Stopwatch, type in the box time *400. Now we gonna use Track Matte. Use this toggle switches to get the Track Matte option. Select the layer and change the Track Matte to Alpha Matte. Cool. Now we got our liquid fill effect. Select all layers and minimize, so we can get some room here. Now go to Project window, drag and drop this arrow here. Go to 5.53 seconds and trim out the layer from here. Open Scale and set it to 17. Go 1 second forward and trim out the rest layer. Here take a copy of this layer and keep it aside. Now come back to the starting of this layer, open Position and Rotation, set a key on both. And same do with the ending of this layer as well. Cool. Now come back to the first key, and set the rotation value to 57. Set the position X value to 2100, and set the position Y value to 440. Now come to the last key, set rotation to 25, set the position X value to 540, and set the position Y value to 510, select all keys, and easy ease them. Now select both keys and open Graph Editor. Here, set the curve like I'm doing. Perfect. Now come to 6 seconds and set the position Y value to 1621.8, and set the position Y value to 342.8. Now adjust the handles a little bit for making the animation smooth. Change the rotation value to around 36. Cool. At last, your curves will look something like this. Now select the second copy of the arrow layer, and set it above the previous arrow layer. Now set the keys just like we did with the previous arrow. Perfect. Now go to the first key. We can shift the position here, but before that, set the rotation value to 203, set the position X value to -242, and position Y value to 540.8. Come back to the last key, here set the rotation value to 224, set the position X value to 1174, and position Y value to 460.8. Select all keys and easy ease them. Now select both keys and open Graph Editor. Here, set the curve like I'm doing. Come back to 6 seconds. Set the position X value to 301.8 and position Y value to 429.4. Here set the rotation value to 210.3. Now adjust the handles a little bit for making the animation smooth, just like we did in the previous one. Looking good to me. Come to 5.59 seconds, and shift this layer to that point. Now we need to mask the arrows, so it will look like arrows are going inside the heart. For that, deselect the layer. Now take a rectangle tool, and draw a shape like I'm doing. Color of the shape doesn't matter because mask shape gonna hide. Keep the start and end of the layer of arrow layer duration. Rest part you can trim out. Keep this layer above the previous arrow layer. Now select the arrow layer, and change Track Matte to Alpha Inverted Matte. Cool. Now check your animation. Same masking we need to do with the above arrow layer, so create a shape like I'm doing. Here also keep the start and end of the layer of arrow layer duration. Rest part you can trim out. Again select the arrow layer and change track matte to alpha inverted matte. Not looking proper to me, so I gonna adjust the position of the mask to the left side. Cool. Now select all layers and minimize, so we can get some room here. Now select all layers except the background layer, and pre-compose them. Let's name it Animation Comp. Select the Move All Attributes option and hit OK. Now come back to our main comp. Now we need to scale down this comp from the center of the YouTube stroke layer, so unhide the ruler lines. Select the comp and take the anchor point tool. Here adjust the point to the center. Come to 6.11 seconds, open scale and rotation, and set keys on both. Now go to 6.53 seconds, set rotation value to 30, and scale value to 0. Select all keys and ease them. Now open Graph Editor and set the curve like I'm doing. Now import the logo in the composition. Place the logo position to the center of the ruler lines, so we can scale it up from there. Start the layer from 6.53 seconds. Open rotation and scale, and set key on both. Now leave 28 frames and again set keys on both. Come back to the first key, here set rotation value to 30, cool. Now go to last keys and set the scale to 110, again leave 18 frames, here set scale value to 95, again leave 12 frames and set scale value to 100. Oops, change the first key scale value to 0 as well. Now we are good to go. Let's ease these keys for getting smooth animation, cool. Now we don't need ruler lines so we can hide them. Come back to the starting of the layer, here set key on position, go to last frame here set position Y value to 440. Now our logo is ready. Go to 7.33 seconds, and write your text here. I'm using Afternoon in stereo font here, you can download this font from the link given in the description. Align the text to the center. Cool. Change the font size to 143. You can adjust the position if you need. Now trim out the layer from here. Now hold Ctrl on the keyboard, and double-click on the anchor point tool to set the anchor point in between the text. Open the layer properties, from the Animate options select Opacity. Now open the Range Selector 1, and set a key on Start. Go forward 1 second and set the start value to 100. Set the opacity value to 0. Now open the Advanced tab, inside here turn on Randomize the order. Cool. Again go to the Animate option and select Tracking, here Animator 2 tab will appear. Here set key in the tracking amount. Go to the last frame and set the tracking amount to 5. Perfect. Now our animation part is ready. But this is looking flat, so let's add some shadows here. Select all the layers except the background layer, and pre-compose. Name it Main Comp. Select the Move All Attributes option, and hit OK. Now come back to our main comp, and take a copy of this layer. Rename the bottom layer to Shadow Comp. Now search for the fill effect and apply it to the Shadow Comp layer. Change the color to black. Again search for CC Radial Fast Blur and apply it to the layer. Change the center point to the right top corner like I'm doing. Change the amount to 75. Now change the layer mode to multiply. If shadows are looking much darker, you can set the opacity to 70. Now create a new solid of comp size, name it to Background Snowfall. And keep the color to yellow. search for CC Snowfall effect and apply it. Turn off the composite with original option. Change the flakes values to 500, size to 15, and speed to 100. Cool. Now place this layer above the background layer, and we are done for this tutorial. Now you can preview your animation. If you find this video helpful, then consider liking and subscribe. I will see you guys next week. Until then, sayonara.